Good day, everyone. Ali's here from Sophie Financial Network. Today is September 26, 2023. Here's another daily analysis. Okay, so here is S&P 500 daily chart. We got another sell signal today, a pretty sharp sell-off to here, just to fail the hammer yesterday. Initiate lots of buyers just coming back. I was expecting a bounce coming if we have followed through. Obviously, we didn't have follow through, but it goes down to the level that we were waiting for. Here is the 4,300 to 4,254, which is the downside target. It's going to be our first downside target, and market just getting back to this daily demand area, which is could be a probable bounce coming, I would say, next 2-3 days. If you see a bounce, you shouldn't be surprised. And this bounce could be kind of like the strong one. And I just did some calculation here. This level, 42.79, especially when we reacted to the low, which is a 42.50. That is kind of like the scenario that I'm 60, sorry, 42.60. That's the bottoming process for the first scenario. Again, this head and shoulder, this bearish pattern, we were talking about this for a while, and this one has been triggered. If you just calculate a measurement here from this top to here, it's kind of like an equal length of ABC corrective move to the downside, and it's coming along to this demand area. So for now, I should say bounce is going to be a very, very probable scenario, and this bounce could be a sizable one. And I'm not sure if we are done with the corrective move, because we will have October timeframe, and October always is going to be a volatile, and it's going to be kind of like a shaky month for the market. But if we see a bounce, at least a sizable bounce to here, we shouldn't be surprised even if it goes 100 points to above to the first week of October. We shouldn't be surprised at all. So if we see another just a drawdown here to this area, that could be kind of like the scenario that I'm looking for as like a final bottoming or decisive bottom to here, somewhere around a 41.76 to 42.54. So again, so if we see something like this, we should be just taking as like a bounce. But if we get this pivotal high, I mean, like if this bounce is stretching above this pivotal point, we should say this is going to be the end of the corrective move, and any pullback could be a buying opportunity for a tackling to the higher price. So this is the way that I'm just looking at the market right now. Here is another one. For example, this is in 2020, which we have very, very volatile after taking out this high. And you see this crazy W pattern is forming. So when we take out this high, any pullback could be a buying opportunity for the next price move to the upside. But right now, if we see a bounce, something like this, if it is going to be a sharp bounce, and if we take out this high, we should see a buying opportunity. But if it doesn't, something like this. So it goes here, but the first trigger going down, but this is kind of like an August top. It goes back to here, and you see that as long as we are below this top, we didn't get into the rally. So any just a tackle to this area coming along with this sell-off. And when we just get above this, which is kind of like this demand area. So that's why this demand area is very, very important, because the first demand is here. Let me just show you here. This is a multi-weeks demand area, which is pretty powerful, to be honest. And I'm just looking for as like a last trench for bulls if we want to see a bullish price action. So still, market can shake out to here, but after a bounce, we can just make a decision if this is the final low, or we are gonna do another lower low here to this area for grabbing all the orders to the upside. So why this demand area is important? Why this small demand area? Because this is the last one prior this August top, and to this initiate this rally, we are just getting above this, coming back for back test for the next rallies to the upside. So that's why it's very important. And this is first time that we reach to here. So that is kind of like giving me a buy signal. And this buy signal could be kind of like a small bounce, or could be kind of like a week or 2 weeks bounce. But anyway, it can just push the market higher, and because it's just before this breakout. So we will see how it goes. But all in all, oversold condition in stochastic momentum wise, a divergence in MACD. It's not it doesn't show divergence in RSI. RSI just hitting to the lower low and just getting to here to the March, I believe September scenario, which is kind of like interesting because last time RSI was into this this overbought condition, oversold condition, it was kind of like in a March scenario. So we'll see how market is going to react to these levels. Moving on to Nasdaq, which we had a nice bounce just in 2 hours chart. If you see that, here is the nice divergence. This is very, very short term time frame. We got into this pivotal point. It's kind of like interesting to see how market react to this daily demand area, as I just put it there for myself. And I just triggers a buy signal based on this. And still we are just in a buy signal as well. So we didn't take out this pivotal point and nicely going back down and a sharp hammer to the upside. But we need to see kind of like a confirmation. If Nasdaq goes above, let me go to daily chart because I'm going to show you here. If Nasdaq getting back to the buy side, it can just have like a sharp rally to here. Still looking for this one as like a selling opportunity. So we are pretty close to this demand area. This is a pretty nice demand area here, but we can see a bounce and then coming down again to this area. We'll see a sharp bounce and then coming down to here. That would be perfect scenario for buyers and sellers at the same time, because when we have this volatility into Nasdaq, then we can say that would be great. So when we see some volatility like this, we can say market is just forming another wild move to the upside. So it's going to be just a 3 consecutive lower low when we have a high, when we have a lower high, and when we have a lower high here. So 3 consecutive lower highs, 3 consecutive lower lows. It's going to just complete the corrective move for this big uptrend. So that would be nice if we see something like this. Again, I'm not sure if this works as just the final bottom here in this demand area, or we can see some movement to the downside here, which is coming along to this demand area breakout for the August top. So S&P 500 is kind of like a lagging compared to the Nasdaq. You see that this demand is kind of like a higher. However, we are still far away from this demand area. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on to Dow Jones, which nicely triggered to the downside this head and shoulder, as you see here. So this is kind of like a head. This is kind of like a shoulder, double shoulders on either side. And we are just getting below this. If you just make a case here, this is a neckline. We just break it through last week. We got into sell signal. We are still in the sell signal. Nicely second target hit. And we are just getting to the third target and fourth target for the final bottom information here, if you ask me. So I'm still looking for Dow to just outperform the market if it goes back to defensive stocks. If money goes back to this defensive stocks, defensive names, still this one can outperform the market, and this corrective move could be just a daily corrective move. Volatile action for the Dow Jones since last, I should say, October. Look at that. So it's pretty volatile, but all in uptrend. So we have a nice move to here. So look at that. This is a very, very sharp rebound to this high. And then after that, we just got into lots of volatility and a choppy market for Dow Jones. Moving on to individual names, starting with yield. Yield is still holding up pretty well, but I should say it's forming kind of like a small bearish consolidation here. So if this one breaks to the downside, it can just release pressure from stock market, from gold, and from TLT as well, treasury. Still, it's going to be an uptrend, but that corrective move to here can just release the pressure from stock market for a bounce to the upside. So I'm just looking for this one, to be honest, because yield is very, very overbought. However, it can just have like a blastic move to the upside, something like this. But at the same time, if you see some kind of like a minor corrective move to here, that could be kind of like the possible scenario that I'm looking for. A TLT, which is treasuries, negative day, another negative day, but most of the day actually hold up pretty well. So treasuries, I believe it's very, very oversold. Buyers cannot buy this one just because they're smashed. But based on the monthly chart, I should say, if we go to the monthly chart here, just want to show you this W pattern. If it forms, that would be great buying opportunity. Just looking for 84 to 86 as like a final bottom information or final stretch, but take it as like a bigger time frame in a monthly chart. And if we see something like this going here and yield at the same time, just showing the top information, that would be a great, I should say, multi-months buying opportunity. Still, it's very, very tough trade. Yield or bond is just going very, very aggressive action right now. So everyone just staying away from them. But I believe when this one is just rebounding like this, it can just shake out lots of traders. Gold coming down today, pretty sharp action, just a $15 to downside, still holding up above 1900. So daily close is above 1900, just a touch above it. So that's going to be very, very important level, because if this one breaks to the downside, it can go all the way down to here, I should say, to 1860. So that could be kind of like the action for gold, and that's not, to be honest, the one that I want to see. So, well, we will see how it goes. But I thought that gold is kind of like, still, I'm thinking gold is forming the bottom here for the next move to the upside. If we have a nice surge to the upside tomorrow, or I should say tomorrow, we should see at least a doji bar to just confirm that this trend still is valid, or this triangle doesn't want to break to the downside. But if it breaks to the downside, um, any takeout of this pivotal point, it could be ugly. It can go all the way down to here to 1860. So that is the level that we should watch. But ultimately, I'm kind of like a bullish for gold. Crude just forming up another price hike today. So it's nice hammer though. I was looking for, to be honest, 82 to 84, but seems like crude is just forming uh, to fail this bearish consolidation for the next move to here to the upside to 94. If it goes here 96, 96, remember that level. So we were talking about this before for the upside move. However, better move is going to be a corrective move, then coming back up. But seems like crude just regaining energy after just a small pullback. VIX 12% upside. Um, Getting into lots of resistance here. So take it as like as a as a very, very important level, 20 to 21 level. But I believe if VIX goes here and then sharp sell-off going to the downside, I should say VIX can go all the way back down to $15 or so. So it can just give a market a bounce. Still, I'm not looking for kind of like a crash or something. I'm just looking for a corrective move to the downside. Dixie, um, strong move to the upside. It goes above, to be honest, above my expectation. I thought that this is going to be the top. This is going to be the top. But just the slicing through all these levels to 106. And 106, you know that this is kind of like a weekly supply area. If it goes above this, any pullback could be a buying opportunity to here to 109, which is very, very interesting, surprisingly high. And I didn't expect this one is coming, but seems like dollar is getting stronger and stronger, and that is putting pressure on gold, treasuries, and the stock market. Moving on to technology, magma indicator. This one is coming down, obviously, 1.82%. If it take out this pivotal point, can go to 920 to 940, which is coming to this demand area. Above this, August top, Apple 2.14% downside, taking out this pivotal point. Apple is heading to 165, I should say. And then the obvious scenario is going to be for me, which is going to be a fantastic scenario, 156 to 163. So if Apple goes there, I'm going to be buyer. But right now, I'm just looking for kind of like a bounce again to here, and then coming down. So that would be the ideal scenario for a market. Amazon, $5.29 downside, 4%. So Amazon is heading to 119 to 120. 113 is going to be a good level low with this demand area. Microsoft $1.87 down. Not a bad price action. Microsoft is very, very lazy these days. So I don't know if this is kind of like a bull flag and or kind of like forming a ripping to the downside, a sharp movement, sub 300, which is coming to 250. Ideal scenario is going to be 250 for me because that's going to be a fantastic buying opportunity, 250 to 230. So Microsoft is weak, but it doesn't move anywhere. Just looking for that. Sorry, this is Meta. Sorry, this is Meta. And sorry about that. So this Meta, again, the same analysis. So if you take out this pivotal point, 244 to 250, but this chart is holding up pretty well. And even after hours, it goes just a bit higher. Microsoft going down, this one is weak. So Microsoft is weak, and taking out this pivotal point can go all the way down to here, 290 to 299. That is going to be the end of the corrective move, I should say. It's coming to here, to this area, and it could be kind of like a nice buying opportunity. Again, waiting, because patience is going to be the key. Google coming down $2.55, Netflix $5.55. Not a bad price action, not a good price action. It's kind of like forming a bearish consolidation for the next move to 353. Tesla holding up for now. So Tesla is holding up this level. I should say Tesla is telling me something. If it holds up pretty well and then coming back up, we can say Tesla forms the bottom. But if it doesn't, if it just form a bearish consolidation to the downside here and then here, could be kind of like the bottom information. This low could be very, very aggressive buyers coming back. But I should say 180 to 190, that could be kind of like a nice buying opportunity for Tesla. Moving on to semiconductors, this one forming a bearish consolidation. This one can go down to here, $112 to 132 to 135. SOX, the same pattern, 432 to 445. TSM coming down. If it takes out this pivotal point, 78 to 80 is coming. AMD, not a bad price action though, but holding up for now, this demand area coming along with SMA 200, a daily chart, which is kind of like a minor support. But at this demand area, if this one doesn't hold, this one can go to 91, which I believe it's going to be a massive weekly support there. So it's going to be a breakout, massive weekly support there. So we'll see NVIDIA holding up for now, but this is small bearish consolidation, I should say. Can we have a bounce and then coming down to here for a next sharp sell-off to the downside? Texas Instrument coming down to this multi-months pivotal point, I should say. It can just stretch down to 154 to 156. Lam Research coming down 2% down. This is ripping down to the downside. So 520 to 540 is coming. Moving on to financials, XLF 45 cents down. This one heading to this box, which is 32 to 32.81. KBE $62 down. This one is heading down to 33 to $35. KRE regional banks 65 cents down. Still, this one can go down to 38 to $39. JP Morgan $1.52 down. Not a bad price action though. Goldman Sachs, this one is getting close to this trend line, $5 down. Bank of America 43 cents down, and Wells Fargo, it's just holding up this pivot, but I believe this one can go down as well. $39 to $40 is coming. Gold miners, they had an ugly day today. So gold GDX, this one 77 cents down, still above this pivotal point. But look at the divergence in this industry. So GDXJ forming a lower low, AEM higher low, Newmont higher low, Franco-Nevada lower low, and also Gold Barrick lower low as well. So this is kind of like the divergence that I'm looking for. You see that some leaders and some weak names like a Gold Barrick and Franco-Nevada. I didn't expect this one is getting to the weak one, but seems like it is getting to the lower low. But this demand area can react as like a buying opportunity. Again, looking for this one, but This sector is coming along with gold. So if gold can retrace back up above 1900 and 1950, then we can see some kind of like a reaction to this sector. But if it just break down, this one can get uglier as well. And moving on to XLE, which is energy sector, hold up pretty well today, 52 cents down. Not a bad price action. XOP 63 cents down. Not a bad price action, this one. OIH, just the doji bar, $3.20 down. Exxon, $18, 18 cents positive. Chevron, 91 cents negative. But look at the pattern. This bullish consolidation is pretty strong, holding up for now. Oxy, just a 1 cent down. Not a bad price action, though. It's just reacting to this dynamic trend line. However, it's just forming a bearish consolidation. So if this one can get above 64 to $65, then it can go just to save itself from bearish consolidation. But if this one just forming a bearish consolidation here, it can just drop to $60 or even lower as well. So we will see how it goes. But today price action obviously was not in favor of bulls. I believe bounce is coming back. So we can see a bounce as like a selling opportunity, or that was kind of like the final bottom for this season. I don't know. We don't know. So we should just educate ourselves. As I said, levels are very, very important. If you didn't watch this, make sure watch this video from the beginning, because I talked about different levels in S&P and Nasdaq as well. So we'll see. See you on the chart tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.